Okay, in this video, I'm going to cover AI voice. Where is it at today? What is it good for? And where is it going? And can it be used in your business? Does it make sense at this point? Uh, I've been creating a lot of AI voice systems as of late, and I think I got a good perspective on this that I would love to share and give some insights for people who are curious about this because AI voice is that kind of hot, sexy thing right now, or it's always been really like we've all watched Iron Man probably and a litany of other AI central media, like focus media, where they show a futuristic AI tool, an AI bot, like having a conversation with you in real time, and it seems like a almost like a kind of friend or human, right? So, I think we're getting really close to something like that. And if you use ChatGPT voice or any of the other voice offerings, it seems like everybody has one. Feels like we're there already, but I would say not quite. These things do have their limitations. They're still very much chatbots. But let's start from the beginning. Reason why I have Google Duplex here on the screen is this is the granddaddy. This is where it really all started. I know some of you might say, hey, there's been voice, there's been Siri for a while. That was not really anything, right? That was just I don't know, pre-recorded. It wasn't really what we talk about when we consider something like a Jarvis system. But Google Duplex was the first thing, and I remember when I was working at BuzzFeed, I went to the Google I/O conference that they have, and they showed this off. And this was in, I believe it was 2016. I could be wrong, but they showed this off, and they had this bot that basically made a call, and you can hear
Hello,
this.
how can I help you? Hi, I'm calling to book a women's haircut for a client. I'm looking for something on May 3rd.
So you kind of heard that, and that's a AI voice. And what blows my mind to this day, when I was in the audience, my everybody's jaw was on the floor, but it was so natural. It did the ums and ahs, like you want to, like it's crazy right now. That's like top of the line. People are trying to get the AI to be expressive and do the ums, ahs, and giggle and stuff like that. And recently, it's kind of got there. But back in 2016, Google was already doing this, and it was so scary that they actually rolled back this and they kind of put it under wraps until uh, ChatGPT came on the scene and OpenAI came on the scene and forced the AI agenda back in the uh, zeitgeist, right? So, uh, are we here? Can you have a robot, an AI system make a hair salon appointment for you? Yeah, kind of. It's pretty freaking good. So uh, it has come to the level, and if you want to see probably the state of art where this focus in AI has gotten to, look no further than Sesame AI. I think still it's one of the best. I've seen others that are, do good, great, like pre-recorded demos, and you're like, oh, that sounds really great. Is that really AI? But Sesame came on the scene and literally gave you a demo that you can still use to this day. And you can straight up talk to it and see how crazy AI has become. Let's talk to Maya.
Hey there. Good to meet you. What's on your mind tonight?
Hey Maya, I'm talking about I'm trying to like introduce people to like how crazy expressive you are. It blows my mind. Like back in 2016, Google previewed the Duplex AI. I don't know if you're familiar with it, and they kind of put it under wraps. But now here you are, uh, an AI that can really be that expressive.
Ah, Duplex. Yeah, I've heard tell of it. Those pretty early days, right?
a little robotic, if I remember correctly. People weren't quite
All right,
ready for that level of.
I got to turn her off. That's scaring me. Um, so you might have seen how expressive, like, geez, she changed pitch, tone, slowed it down, sped it up. I don't even think I'm that human. So that's kind of where we are now. Can you get something like Maya representing your business? Um, Geez, everybody's been waiting for this. Right now, what I hear is that Sesame AI is available through platforms like Vappy, but from what I've seen in the community, um, I usually build a lot of my stuff from the ground up and don't use things like Vappy. But uh, from what I've heard, it's not exactly like what they showed in the demo and what you can interact with. I think they're kind of holding back. But that's coming. I can't imagine in the next couple months if AI voice isn't literally on that level. All right, let's talk about application. So we, well, I have been working on these things for businesses, and one business in particular that I've been working with, ClearDesk in Puerto Rico. We've been working with some let's say, uh, veterinarian hospitals. And we've implemented systems for them to basically handle their calls. So they had basically had a problem where they are missing a lot of calls. So they're one of the bigger hospitals in Puerto Rico. So they're missing a lot of their calls because they didn't have enough staff, and you know it's crazy to see like in this. I think this is covering maybe 30 days. This on the month, you can see we kind of track in the conversation that our AI has with these inbound calls based on what they're asking for, how much kind of money is left on the table if that call is missed and they decide to go with a different veterinary hospital because they can't get in touch. So it's pretty interesting. But this was our first foray into this, and it's really surprising to see that much value that was captured in 30 days. But there's so much room to improve our agent, to learn from it. And the cool thing is, you have the agent go back over its call and see, okay, did it really understand what the call type was, right? Where are people getting frustrated? And you can really break down the analytics and see, all right, is there are we more frustrating customers, or are they getting actual value out of this? So a lot of these where the customer just hangs up right away, we used to have that way up, and then we learned that, hey, we probably shouldn't have the AI introduce itself like it's a voicemail, right? So this gives us a lot of insight on what kind of calls are coming in, where what are people really needing, right? And it gives a lot of great insight to the staff so that they can understand where they need to focus their efforts, right? And like if they're calling people back, how do they prioritize calls? Probably prioritize the ones that will make them the most money. So the other thing, though, is really surprising is we still get a good amount of customers that just hang up, and there's a lot of customers we have or leads, potential customers who come in, and the unclear intent. Sometimes the AI just doesn't understand, and the AI is, when it comes to multilingual, it could be kind of challenging, right? So maybe the AI didn't understand the accent, or had to keep on asking the same question because they didn't understand. So that frustrates a lot of people, and they could hang up. And so that is a danger. You think, could you be kind of frustrating your leads? I think you have to look at maybe businesses that do these robot caller things, right? Even the non-sophisticated ones. You call your bank, you call any kind of big company these days. you're probably going to get an automated system that's going to route you to the right place. And even though it's frustrating and we all hate it, the thing is, it saves the company a lot of time and money. And what we've seen here, when people really need something, they're gonna just, even though we have a lot of room to grow here, we're not at the level of Sesame coming in and making it just really feel like, hey, I'm talking to a human right now. The AI is still able to capture and help the person and get them to set the appointment, get the pet boarding or the pet grooming that they need. And you can see here that it's capturing about $15,000 of value that maybe wouldn't have otherwise been captured in the last 7 days. So I would say it definitely works for some businesses. I think it'd be great, especially if you have high call volume and limited resources. Now, a lot of people ask about outbound. Now, that's not something I haven't touched too much, but I would imagine that the outbound here could be great if you already have warmed up the lead, if they answered a questionnaire, went through something on your website. I think the idea of speed to lead is where these systems can really come in and be great, right? So whether the person filled out the form at like 2 a.m. or a different time, something can reach out to them immediately and book an appointment, or get to a point where they can even make the sale. If you have the tools and you've set it up to be that sophisticated and ingratiated into your system. So that definitely is an opportunity there, right? And it can always have the enthusiasm, right? I think the tough thing when you're dealing with, especially cold calling, etc. Obviously, you have to be careful with that. There's a lot of regulations. You don't want to get fined. But if you do have the consent of these people to call them, then just being able to go through a lot of them and see if they're serious or not, to maybe get them to a human to a point where you can close the lead, could be very effective. Where I think it probably wouldn't be great is just the dry cold calling. Number one, I'm pretty sure it might be illegal, but I think a lot of people are still doing it. I'm not sure how they're going about it, but these things, I personally, I would probably be like, all right, as soon as I hear and detect like it feels like AI, I don't really care what it's saying. I might listen to it if I had asked for that call. So that's just me. I'd love to hear if you've implemented something like this already. What was your mileage, especially if it was outbound cold calling? Let me know. But that's a bit of what I've experienced, and a little breakdown of where I see everything is at. But I also want to make sure you know what I do. If you guys are interested in this kind of system and you have a business, definitely reach out and we can see if it makes sense for you to set up something like this. And yeah, let me know. So thanks for watching the video. Thanks for making this far. Signing off here.